Hello, welcome to Historically Marked. I am Jason, and welcome to a very first episode on a new series that I've been doing. I've shot some episodes farther up the road, but the road that I'll be doing a new series on is the Historic National Road, a road that started in Cumberland, Maryland. It went through many states, and it ended right here where I'm standing. I am standing underneath the Eads Bridge in East St. Louis, Illinois. Actually, well, near the Metrolink platform, but I think you kind of get the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and show you around a little bit, and I'll explain more about the history of the Historic National Road. Check it out. So right over there is the St. Louis skyline, as well as the arch. And this is one of the oldest bridges still standing in America. This at one time was the longest arch bridge in the world, but of course that was back in the late 19th century. But this is known for carrying light rail, and vehicular traffic. And that, of course, is the Metrolink, the light rail of St. Louis. And you can't really see it, but that's the Casino Queen, where most people park for their commute. And this is also the industrial part of the city. I decided to move over here towards the parking lot at the Casino Queen because I forgot this was the industrial part of East St. Louis, and there were a lot of loud trucks going by. But anyway, back to the Historic National Road. It was also known as the National Pike, the Cumberland Road and the Cumberland Pike, among many other things, as well as the road that built the nation. Now this road kind of shares a lot of similarities between Route 66, and a lot of people, especially my followers or my subscribers on YouTube, they know I've been doing a lot of Route 66 videos lately, so I decided to do another road that was located near me, and which happened to end right here. So there are a lot of similarities, like both are known as the roads that built America, but there is one thing they do have in common. They were both they were both kind of, I guess, killed or put out of business by more technological things. Like the Historic National Road was replaced mostly by railroads because railroads proved to be faster, more valuable for people to get from town to town, city to city. Route 66 was ended by interstate highways. But the good news is both have shown resurgent interest, mostly Route 66 arguably, but the Historic National Road has been trying to advertise, its history and all that, state by state. Every state that has hosted the Historic National Road, Illinois, Ohio, you name it. I mean, they all had their own associations of preserving their history. I mean, it's kind of a work in progress if you ask me. But Illinois, there are a lot of kiosks around the Historic National Road towns. I will not be visiting every town, but for video purposes, but I will show you, a little bit of life on the Historic National Road. One thing I forgot to mention was Historic Route 66 and the Historic National Road are both part of the National Scenic Byways Association. So they all had to go through US Congress to be designated as a historic road, kind of like, national parks or, the National Register of Historic Places. But it's really cool because, this is one of many roads that holds that distinction. But this road, unlike Route 66, is much, much older. It goes back 2 centuries. But the roots of the Historic National Road go all the way back to George Washington and the founding of this country. Washington wanted a road that would connect America. Start somewhere like, Washington, D.C. or Maryland or somewhere nearby. It did indeed start in Cumberland, Maryland. But he wanted the United States to expand westward, which it eventually did, but unfortunately, as we all know, George Washington didn't live to see that happen. But it wasn't until the Thomas Jefferson administration that he did make this a reality. In 1806, Jefferson signed the legislation creating the Historic National Road. A few years after, in 1811, construction began in Cumberland, Maryland. Through the years, the road would be built in states such as Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio. But by 1838, federal funding for National Road discontinued. It ended literally in Vandalia, Illinois. So pretty much, this is where the confusing part comes in. Now, East St. Louis was supposed to be the original ending of the National Road. However, the state of Illinois wanted to end the road in Alton, Illinois. But the feds, they wanted it right here, where I'm pointing to. So there was a disagreement, and, well, thus, there was no more federal funding, and the parties didn't agree. So the Historic National Road Association of Illinois, they wanted to preserve the parts and the towns where they originally intended for the National Road to end and to continue from Vandalia. So that's where I'm starting right now, and I'm going to go eastbound from now on in this series. So the first kiosk is in Fairmont City, Illinois, which is not too far from here, then Cahokia Mounds. So come join me, I will lead you there. All right, so I'm outside East St. Louis Municipal Building, where City Hall and police and departments are. And this is the last time you see this sign as you're hosting or going on the Historic National Road at this corner of 3rd and River Park Drive. It goes straight ahead to the Casino Queen. And that up there is Interstates 55 and 70 and 64. So here we go. This is the end of the road if you're traveling westbound. So now I'm in Fairmont City, Illinois, outside the Fairmont City Library and Busey Bank branch. But here is the very first National Road kiosk. They don't really call them historical markers, they call them big kiosks, which pretty much they look like. So let's go with that for now. But I'll go ahead and show that to you. Here it is. I know the sun's kind of making it really bright, but Fairmont City is the road to America. Let's see. So between 1880 and 1920, nearly 24 million immigrants arrived in the United States. Many found work in the mines, mills, and factories of America's rapidly expanding industrial sector. In 1913, American Zinc, Lead, and Smelting Company established an ore processing plant outside East St. Louis, near the rail lines south of the National Road. And not a lot of people realize, probably not even the locals too, but Fairmont City was at one time a suburb of East St. Louis, but now it's pretty much a standalone town. And it's also touches the borders of Madison and St. Clair County, even though I'm literally in St. Clair County. And one famous person worth noting that did live here at one time was Jack Dorsey. Dorsey is the founder or co-founder of Twitter. He is, of course, worth billions now, and if you ever want to visit him, it's twitter.com/Jack, or @Jack, his Twitter handle. I know, small world, isn't it? Fairmont City was definitely an industrial town, and one thing cool about these kiosks is there are several pictures and a lot of captions that go with these. And by the way, and another thing worth noting about Fairmont City, it is one of the largest populated Hispanic cities here in Illinois. I think this is probably the most populated outside Chicago, as a matter of fact. But here is one interesting one about the immigrants formed social clubs to preserve their culture, language, and traditions. The Mexican American Society of Fairmont City hosted fiestas and celebrated Mexican holidays at the Mexican Hall located on the National Road. And this is a band called Honorifica. Hopefully I'm saying that right. This one spotlighted a lot of local businesses that have came and went, such as the Thomas Garage, Carol's Market from 1925 to 1978 that existed. And this is one about the Night Spot Cafe, and I'll show you a ghost sign of that one. It is just next door to this library. And here's a little something about the Night Spot. How about that? In the early 1950s, the Night Spot Cafe served meals to tourists and truckers around the clock, 7 days a week. So it was a 24/7 place. So it had everything a trucker needed, or a traveler for that matter. They could also order train sets and toys. Okay. Interesting. Now, I have visited just about every kiosk here, except for the one in Altamont. I still need to visit that one, but I have made videos already for most of these towns, so, which I can't wait to show you here on YouTube. So here is a little map of where I'm at. See, I'm right here, and that's East St. Louis. Then you have Collinsville, Troy, Highland, Pocahontas, Effingham, Casey, Marshall, and then it goes to Indiana, Ohio, let's see, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and then Maryland. Okay. And every kiosk has this, of the history of how Thomas Jefferson became associated with it. Here is the sign for the Night Spot Cafe, as mentioned on the marker. As you can see, obviously nothing's there, as it does no longer exist. Well, as a business that is, but the place is, of course, still there. I'm not entirely sure if this was intentionally left up, but I think maybe I just answered my own question. But still, it's a nice, cool thing to see, a very historic relic. So there is kind of a similarity, after all, for the historic National Road and Route 66, but arguably Route 66 has many more of those compared to the historic National Road, based on what I've seen so far, but what do I know? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take you to Cahokia Mounds for a brief moment. So now I'm at Cahokia Mounds, and that over there is the Cahokia Mounds Interpretive Center. And don't worry, I do plan on doing plenty of videos, or I'm sorry, I don't want to say plenty, but a few videos of this area pretty soon down the road, because this is one of my favorite places to go locally and historically. But now I'm approaching the Cahokia Mounds. This is the second kiosk going eastbound in the series, or second to last if you're going westbound. And this, of course, is the America's oldest city. I'll have more on that in later videos. And again, this talks more about President Thomas Jefferson signing legislation creating America's first federal highway. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. Again, welcome to the introductory episode of the Historic National Road series. I can't wait to show you guys more, and I know it was a little long, but I thought I'd do my best to explain the historical value of the historic National Road. So I am in Cahokia Mounds between Fairmont City and Collinsville, Illinois. I am Jason, signing off. And please like and subscribe if you find my videos on Historically Marked very interesting. All right, bye for now.